I'm Darrenisha Heron here in Austin. Thousands of Central Texans rallied in the No Kings Day protest on Saturday, from Pflugerville to here in Austin to Dripping Springs. This was the third nationwide day of protests held in less than a year. Organizers say these were in part a response to the war in Iran and against actions taken by federal ICE agents in Minnesota. The president says the war in Iran is necessary to keep the country from developing a nuclear weapon. His administration also defends its immigration enforcement efforts, saying agents are on a mission to make the U.S. more safe. The No Kings rally in Austin was one of more than 3,000 events across the country. KVUE's Daniel Perot shows us how it wasn't just about frustration, but also hope.
From jazz at City Hall,
hey, hey, ho, ho,
to shuffling in the street,
there we go.
Thousands holding signs and chanting
Whose streets? Our streets!
as they marched to Auditorium Shores for a rally. The protests included speeches and performances from musicians, a drag queen, and community leaders.
I'm terrified with what's happening on a global level.
Protesters expressing frustration with Trump administration policies and actions like immigration enforcement, the Epstein files, and military activity in Iran and Venezuela.
We didn't get to choose whether or not we do that. They circumvented Congress.
I'm just devastated. That's fighting for all these issues. It's not just one.
Nancy McCaskill feels she has a duty to speak up and attend the protest because of her late father.
He fought against fascism and authoritarian, dictatorship in World War II, so he would be here too, if he could.
Aaron Baxter came with a giant baby President Donald Trump on her shoulders.
It's inverse proportionally to how mad I am at him.
She says it's a symbolic message.
It's representation of the ridiculousness of our government and our president in particular.
Organizers hope these No Kings rallies and all these people gathered here isn't just a moment, but a movement where all this energy and enthusiasm can be harnessed for the November midterm election.
It gives you a sense of hope and a sense that things are going to change for the better.
Kevin Ty has been to 3 No Kings protests and keeps coming back because he says things are getting worse. He sees parallels to the Vietnam War protests, but says the number of young people in attendance gives him hope.
Older people understand what's going on, we have a sense of history because we've lived through it. It's hard to understand history if you haven't lived through it.
Thousands of Texans united, now hoping to continue the momentum from Saturday into the future. Daniel Perot, KVUE News, Austin.
For the 2 previous No Kings protests, the state deployed DPS troopers and Texas National Guard members to Austin to respond to any violence. Neither was seen at Saturday's protest. Our crews also made it to Pflugerville. Here's some thoughts from protesters there.
We feel like this is something we can do to support and let people know how upset we are about the situation in the country right now with Trump's administration and some of the really awful decisions that have been made, starting to impact everybody financially. It's impacting people's health and safety, and he just needs to be stopped.
Demonstrators also gathered in Round Rock. They told us some of their issues included how the war is impacting the economy and fears of how certain groups of people are being treated.
We had a perfectly good economy. It was the envy of the world. We were fighting our inflation. We were productive, and then Trump came in and he just managed to mess it all up. He's got like a negative Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to crud.
Some Central Texans found unique ways to protest on a smaller scale. A viewer told us about this home in South Austin. Its front yard featured a display called the world's tiniest No Kings protest. Neighbors and visitors could make their own signs with materials left on a bench. The homeowner told us she wanted to make something accessible for people like her who get overwhelmed at big protests.
I've had some people come by. I've mostly been inside the house so that people could enjoy it on their own, but I've seen some people looking, and I have had, in the lead up, some people made some signs for me.
She kept the display up all weekend. A former landfill in Buda could soon become the site of a busy retail hub with a new HEB. The site is along I-35 South near Main Street. KVUE's Jose Alonso shows us there's a lot of work ahead to turn this lot into a safe place for shoppers.
Traffic seems relentless around this HEB in Buda. A local hotspot, shoppers say the store stays busy.
There's never any parking if you go after 6 o'clock.
The Texas grocery store's planned expansion in this lot across Main Street is the talk of the town. Christy Wood,
all right, perfect.
The owner of downtown businesses
Perfect, thank you.
Posey and KD Premier Home Solutions, says she's excited.
I think that it's a great thing. It brings lots of jobs to the area. There's tons of people moving to the area. So I think it's just it's going to be an asset to us.
HEB will be the anchor store at a brand new retail hub set to be built on top of this old landfill. City Manager Micaiah Grau says building on unstable land like this presents a challenge.
What HEB is planning to do is to excavate out the portion that's underneath the building and build that up completely stable.
Environmental experts say it's doable and safe as long as laws are followed, but it comes at a hefty price tag, a $20.1 million incentive package from Buda and Hays County agencies.
It is a big number, but I think it's needed. I mean, when you look at what Austin spends.
This is a larger package than you would typically see for a grocery store or a retail store, but that is because of the landfill component of it. So we are viewing this as a community as an environmental mitigation type project.
The city manager says HEB is also committing to making traffic improvements along Old San Antonio Road since they will have a back entrance into this street. And that includes widening the road, adding turn lanes, and even making improvements at the intersection of Main Street.
The plan is to build a bigger store. The current store was built in the early 2000s, so as the community's grown, we've outgrown that store.
And the lines are long, and I think that having a bigger HEB, they'll offer more items as well.
This lot, full of mesquites and some loose trash, will be transformed as the Texas grocer tries to keep up with the city's population growth. In Buda, Jose Alonso, KVUE News.
Project officials tell us they plan to begin store construction within the year. Their goal is to host a grand opening toward the end of 2028. That's it from us here in Austin. I'm Darrenisha Heron.